Emily has always believed that life is a grand adventure, a journey of endless discoveries. Since childhood, she has carried a free spirit, unafraid of challenges and constantly yearning to experience new things. She has traveled to distant lands, immersed herself in diverse cultures, and explored various ways of living. Each journey and each change has helped her understand more about the world and herself. But then, one day, Emily faced an important decision, a turning point greater than anything she had ever encountered. This new adventure was not just a geographical journey, but also a test of her spirit and emotions. It required her to be braver than ever, willing to let go of the familiar and embrace an uncertain future. Yet with a heart full of passion and faith in the wonders ahead, Emily knew this was the moment for her to truly live as she was meant to. A dreamer, a seeker of freedom in the endless journeys of life. 2 years ago, Emily and her husband Edward made a bold decision, a major turning point in their lives. They decided to give up all their possessions and journeyed to travel the world. It was not an easy decision, but both believed life was meant to be experienced, and they did not want to be tied down by material things. The preparation for their journey was anything but simple. They sold nearly everything, from their car, furniture and clothing to home decorations, family heirlooms, and even cherished souvenirs. Some items were donated to charity, while others were given to friends and relatives. Ultimately, they all fit into just a few small suitcases. Emily had thought that letting go of their possessions would be easier, but it was more difficult than she had imagined. Parting with sentimental items tied to countless memories made her hesitate more than once. However, she also understood that sometimes one must be willing to leave the past behind to move forward. 3 important reasons drove their decision. First and foremost, their children lived on different continents, and they wanted to spend more time with them rather than just visit briefly during holidays each year. Emily and Edward realized that hurried reunions on special occasions were insufficient to bridge the growing physical distance between them and their children. So, they wanted to take control and create more meaningful moments with their family. The second reason stemmed from their marriage journey. When Emily married Edward, she already had 2 children from a previous marriage. They had spent most of their years raising the kids, prioritizing family responsibilities above all else. But when Emily's youngest daughter grew up and moved out to start her own independent life, the couple saw this as an opportunity to begin a new chapter, a journey for just the 2 of them, where they could truly enjoy life together without the obligations that had once defined their daily routine. Finally, their passion for travel and exploration had always been a driving force. To them, the world was vast and filled with wonders, rich cultures, and incredible experiences waiting to be discovered. They did not want to simply read about breathtaking destinations in books or see them through a screen. They wanted to witness them with their own eyes and experience them firsthand. And so, with a spirit of freedom and an unquenchable thirst for adventure, Emily and Edward set out on their journey. They knew there would be challenges ahead, but at the same time, they believed that what awaited them on this path would be far more valuable than anything they had ever owned. The past 2 years have brought Emily and Edward the experiences they had hoped for, perhaps even more than they had imagined. Their decision to leave behind a stable life and embark on an adventure allowed them to explore the world and granted them precious moments with family, something they had long yearned for, but rarely had enough time to truly enjoy. Spending months at a time near their children has been an invaluable gift for Emily. She never takes it for granted, knowing that, in the past, their visits were often limited to just a few short days. Now, she can have breakfast with her children, engage in daily conversations, and listen to the little details of their lives, stories she once only heard through rushed phone calls. Beyond that, the time spent with her young grandchildren has brought her pure joy. She runs with them outdoors, laughs at their innocent games, and shares stories of the distant places she has traveled. long walks with her son, warm hugs from her little grandson, and cozy family dinners have become cherished moments she treasures more than anything else. This journey has strengthened their bond with family and helped Emily and Edward rediscover themselves in love. Although they have been together for over 20 years, the past 2 years have felt like reliving the early days of their marriage. Traveling together and exploring new places, they have learned to see each other in a new light. Through excitement, challenges, and in the quiet moments they share in unfamiliar lands. With each passing day, they understand each other better and love each other more deeply. Experiencing the world together has become a priceless gift, a new chapter in their lives, free from the worries of daily routines, filled only with joy, connection, and fresh experiences. Emily understands that this journey is not just about the places they have visited, but, more importantly, about how it has shaped them into the best versions of themselves, as individuals, partners, and as two souls forever drawn to the spirit of exploration. Never believe that the best days of your life are behind you. Each new day is an opportunity to continue writing your own journey and to explore possibilities you have yet to discover. Reinventing yourself is not just about change. It is the strongest expression of hope. Hope for a better future and for the person you have the potential to become. No matter what yesterday was like, today is always a blank page, ready for you to paint something extraordinary. Don't wait for the perfect moment or a rare opportunity to appear. This very moment, right now, is the time to take action. Make today a day worth remembering, a day you can be proud of for living fully, daring to change, and never stopping your journey forward. Emily doesn't know how their decision to travel full-time will unfold as time goes on. In the beginning, both she and Edward were excited, believing this would be an incredible journey where they could freely explore the world and experience new things. And indeed, it was just as they had imagined. Traveling opened their eyes to breathtaking landscapes, rich cultures, and wonderful people. But like anything in life, nothing is perfect. They quickly realized that traveling wasn't just leisurely afternoons by the beach or peaceful mornings sipping coffee in an unfamiliar city. Most of their time was spent planning, finding accommodations, booking transportation, and dealing with unexpected challenges. Not having a permanent home also meant they never slept in a familiar bed or had a personal space to retreat after long, exhausting days. Moreover, constantly moving from one country to another requires endless adaptation to different languages, cuisines, lifestyles, and climates. However, all those inconveniences were merely minor challenges, manageable and expected. Her health weighed on Emily's mind and increasingly became a greater challenge. 4 years ago, she was in a serious car accident in New Zealand. That day had started as a simple, scenic drive along the breathtaking coastal roads with Edward. But in a single moment of another driver's carelessness, their car was struck hard from the side, leaving Emily with a severe head injury. The days following the accident were an agonizing ordeal. Constant headaches, persistent difficulty concentrating, and overwhelming fatigue. At first, she tried to push aside her concerns, telling herself she could still pursue the journey she had dreamed of for decades before the accident. She refused to let her past dictate her future. So despite knowing the challenges ahead, she and Edward decided to try, determined to see if they could make it work. But as time passed, reality became clearer. The more they traveled, the more Emily's health deteriorated. Intense headaches, constant fatigue, and memory issues began to affect her more severely. Eventually, her body could no longer keep up. Last year, she was hospitalized twice, once in Canada and once in New Zealand. Those moments forced Emily to confront the truth. While her spirit still longed to continue, her body could no longer endure the relentless pace of their travels. At that point, she realized that sometimes dreams need to be adjusted to fit reality. It didn't mean giving up. Finding a different way to sustainably continue the journey, allowing her to truly enjoy life without sacrificing her health. At that moment, she understood that sometimes dreams need to be adjusted to align with reality. It didn't mean giving up, but finding a different way to continue the journey, one that would allow her to truly enjoy life without sacrificing her health. The greatest adventure for Emily and Edward was not about the places they had visited, but about what lay ahead. Like a river, life never stops flowing, always changing, always opening new paths. After years of wandering the world, they realized it was time to find a place to settle, to embrace a slower, more stable rhythm of life. This decision was not made in haste. They had countless deep conversations, long walks along the shore, and quiet nights reflecting on the future. Together, they outlined what mattered most, a place that could offer them peace while preserving the adventurous spirit they had always cherished. After researching various locations that aligned with their values and met their needs, they finally chose New Zealand. It was no coincidence that they chose New Zealand as their long-term destination. Over the years, no matter how many countries they visited, they always returned to this place. It wasn't just because of the breathtaking landscapes, the untouched beaches, the lush green forests, or the majestic snow-capped mountains, but also the tranquility and slower pace of life it offered. The small coastal towns, the winding trails leading into deep forests, and the peaceful farms and vast meadows created the perfect setting for them. More than anything, New Zealand had everything a nature lover like Emily had ever dreamed of. A short trip could take them to crystal-clear bays, ancient fern-covered forests, or magnificent mountain peaks offering panoramic views of the world below. Here, they no longer had to rush to find accommodations, book flights, or adjust to different time zones. New Zealand gave them a home, a place to pause, breathe, and slow down after years of restless travel. Emily had always trusted her intuition. Every time she listened to it, she had never been led astray. New Zealand was not just a destination. It was a feeling, a sense of coming home. With a reasonable cost of living, they could still visit their children for extended periods without financial worries. But this time, after their travels, they had a place to return to, a home to rest, to heal. Most importantly, it was a place to begin a new chapter that was no longer defined by flights and itineraries, but by the pursuit of peace and meaning in every moment of life. After years of living without a permanent home, for the first time, Emily and Edward felt a sense of peace in having a place to call home, even if only temporarily. Their rented house was nestled on the edge of a quiet little town, backed by majestic mountains and overlooking a vast plateau stretching to the horizon. In the early mornings, a delicate mist draped over the landscape, giving it an ethereal beauty. And at sunset, the sky burst into brilliant shades of orange and purple, like a masterpiece painted by nature each day. As they entered the house, they unpacked their suitcases, carefully placing their few belongings into drawers and shelves. No matter how small, each item carried a memory from their journeys. Emily hung a small painting on the wall, one she had bought from a local artist on a previous trip. Edward placed his notebook on the table by the window, his favorite spot for reflecting and jotting down thoughts about life. Gradually, every corner of the house became more familiar, transforming from a temporary shelter into a true home, at least for now. The next day, they took time to explore the area around them. The small town was just a short walk away, with cobblestone streets leading to a sunlit central square. Cozy cafes lined both sides of the road, where locals sipped their morning coffee and chatted about the simple joys of life. Emily and Edward stopped by a little bakery, welcomed by the warm aroma of freshly baked bread and butter the moment they stepped through the door. The owner, an elderly woman with a kind smile, quickly recognized them as newcomers and eagerly initiated a conversation. The days that followed passed in a rare and peaceful tranquility. In the mornings, they woke up to birds singing outside their window, made hot tea, and sat on the porch, watching the clouds drift lazily over the plateau. They wandered along winding trails through the hills in the afternoons, enjoying the crisp, refreshing air. On clear nights, they sat together on an old wooden bench outside, gazing silently at the star-filled sky, reminiscing about past journeys and wondering what the future might hold. After years of constant movement, they weren't sure if this would be their final stop. But that no longer mattered. What mattered was that, at this moment, they were here. A place that was not just a dwelling, but truly a home where they could slow down, find peace, and embrace life in a completely new way. There is never a perfect time or a set age to start over. Life is not a straight path with mandatory milestones. It is a journey that continuously opens new directions, no matter your stage. You can pursue a new career at 40, leave behind the familiar to move to a foreign country at 50, completely transform your lifestyle at 60, find true love at 70, or even dance at 80. No rules dictate what you must do at a certain age. Every choice is in your hands. The world is vast, filled with opportunities yet to be explored. The most incredible thing is not holding on to what is familiar, but daring to open yourself to new possibilities. How many times have people postponed their dreams simply because they thought it was too late? How often do we set our limitations, only to look back with regret? But the truth is, as long as you have passion and desire, it is never too late to reinvent yourself. Each day that passes is an opportunity to rewrite your life story. It does not matter how old or far you have come. What truly matters is whether you are willing to take the next step. And it is this choice, this readiness to embrace a new chapter at any age, makes life truly fulfilling and meaningful. Thank you for taking the time to be with us today. Your presence and support are both a joy and a tremendous source of motivation for us. Life becomes more meaningful when we connect, share, and experience unforgettable moments. I truly appreciate that. I treasure every moment you have spent listening and following this journey with us. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I hope you always find joy and inspiration in life. Keep chasing what makes you happy and welcome new experiences with an open heart. Wishing you a wonderful day filled with beautiful moments and meaningful experiences. And always remember, no matter where you are never alone. You always have companions on this journey. See you again soon.